Chosen and Frozen, sponsored by Culver's, our proud sponsors. I know y'all are going to be hungry after the show, so go get yourself some butter burgers and fries. You know they're going to be good. And we got a lot of locations: Buffalo Grove, Lincolnshire, Northbrook, around Chicago. So go get yourself some Culver's after the show. We really appreciate them. And Brady, you ready?
I'm ready. Is it working?
Heck yeah. Let's talk
go.
about some of our end of the year chosen or frozen players. We had some fan nominations for this, as well as our own picks. So start us off with your own pick, and then we'll get into a fan one. Who was your chosen pick?
So my chosen player is Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
The man, the myth, the legend. He has 300 yards in 4 straight games, 4 straight W's. He is on an absolute tear. The defenses are boring him so much he's falling asleep on the sidelines. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. This is a man on a mission. And mission to get to bed on time, I guess, but he's been balling, and he's my chosen player right now.
Yeah,
Cleveland, that's for you.
I've loved watching Flacco the last few weeks. He's just throwing 300-yard games over and over again. I kind of anticipated that you were going to pick him just because that's a very Brady pick. You love your quarterbacks and chosen.
It's a great pick. It's a great pick.
But yeah, you can't go wrong with him. I mean, it's between him and DeMar Hamlin for comeback player of the year. And one guy is a 38-year-old who was on his couch 5 weeks ago, and now he's set the Browns record, or not just the Browns record, but he's like 3rd or 4th all time most passing yards in your first 5 games with the team. Mm-hmm. He started with them in week 11. It's an insanity.
It's insane. It makes zero sense to pick an NFL offense that fast. Is just it's just crazy. It makes no sense.
I really hope the Browns go all the way. Them or the Ravens are clearly the best 2 teams in the AFC right now, unless you think there might be a surprise other team.
If the Bills get hot, it could be the Bills.
It could be the Bills. And then, of course, no one's talking about the Dolphins anymore, who I picked to the Super Bowl like 7 weeks ago, and they've kind of fallen off a little bit.
If you lose by 30, I don't think you're a Super Bowl team. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Ravens put them in their place, like big time. Lamar locked up the MVP. One of my friends has a future on him at like plus 1,600 from the start of the year, so lucky for him. But
I've been on the Lamar train the past 2 years, and it's finally coming to fruition. So
that's true. And if you go back to the first episode this season, I said if I hadn't picked Trevor Lawrence back last year to be the 2023-24 MVP, that my next guy is Lamar. So
did I pick Lamar?
I don't know. I don't
remember
if you picked him or if you strayed away from it. I
don't remember, but he's been a menace. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Our first fan chosen player. We have two nominees from the fans. First one is CeeDee Lamb, who has been absolutely gone nuclear this year.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb's been crazy.
122 receptions, 1,651 yards, and 10 touchdowns. He's got 12 total touchdowns. 2 of them are rushing. He had a 227-yard game last week. I mean, this dude cannot be stopped. And
he's unbelievable.
I think, this might sound crazy because everyone's been saying like, yeah, CeeDee Lamb, he's great. He's very good. I think this guy needs to be in the top 3 receivers in the NFL conversation at this point, because I feel like when people are throwing around those titles, CeeDee is never included in those. There's Jamar, there's Justin Jefferson, there's Tyreek, there's Devontae Adams, who kind of depends on his quarterback. I would like to see how CeeDee would do with Dak is an underwhelming quarterback in my opinion. But
I guess. I mean, who do you think the best receivers are? I think Tyreek and Jay Jettis are top 2, easy.
I think at least this year you have to say CeeDee's been better than Chase. Chase is so boom or bust these days.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
and his booms are less than CeeDee's booms.
I'm trying to think who else is up there for top receiver.
Stephon Diggs. He's a guy.
AJ Brown. Stephon Diggs disappears so often. AJ
Brown had like 6 straight games of 125 yards. Now feels like he's had 6 straight of like 3 catches for 40 type of deal.
So Eagles offense. I mean, I don't know who else even compares.
Yeah, I don't know what
DJ Moore. I mean,
true. Hey, in his 10
crazy.
games with Fields, he's been a 1,000-yard receiver in the 10 full games that Fields has played.
Yeah, DJ Moore's crazy.
Yeah,
I want to talk about that later. But who is your chosen pick, Jules?
My chosen pick. I knew you were going to say Flacco, so I went with David Njoku.
That's a great pick.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. It's crazy.
He's been going on. His previous 4 games, we've talked about it on the show, I think. But ever since he burned his face, he is a whole other man.
No, he's crazy.
This dude
burns his face, and he's just not scared of anything.
This guy has 6 catches, 91 yards, and 2 scores. The next week, 10 for 104 and a score. The next week, 6 for 44 and a touchdown. And then last week, 6 catches for 134 yards. That's his past 4 games. This guy has over 850 receiving yards on the season. I think he's at 882 right now with still a game to go. Not that I think he'll play much. I think they'll rest the starters. But I mean, after all these years, it's kind of an Evan Ingram type beat. Everyone thought that David Njoku was an afterthought. He underperformed the first 3 or 4 years of his career. That hasn't done much. And finally, when he's had a quarterback that is competent, when he gets the ball, he's been making plays, been hurtling guys.
He's crazy.
He had a crazy catch against the Bears at the tiptoe at the back of the end zone. I mean, this is a real deal tight end. I immediately would extend him if I'm Cleveland.
He already got extended. No, that's the thing. Because at the beginning of the year, they paid. I think he's like under a $14 million a year contract, something like that. Let me look this up. They paid David Njoku at the beginning of the year, and I thought they were crazy.
Well, I guess they knew what they were doing all along.
They clearly did, but with Deshaun and with everyone else, he just really didn't do that much. Let's see.
While you're looking that up, a quick fun fact here about Browns tight ends. Only 4 other Browns tight ends have had more receiving yards in a season than him, which is Ozzie Newsome, Gary Barnidge. How's that for a throwback name? And Kellen Winslow Jr.
I miss Gary Barnidge. 4 year, $56.75 million. So decent amount of money.
I guess they did. They really did pay. That's more than Cole Kmet, right?
That is. Cole Kmet's been having a great year too, by the way. But
wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And then our final chosen pick from the fans is Roquan Smith, who we've known in Chicago is chosen.
Roquan's a dog. I mean, it sucks that the Bears don't have him, but
it's good for him though. There was no way he was going to re-sign with us, and we still got a 2nd round pick out of him.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
he looks totally in control of. I mean, the Ravens have had the best defense in the league the whole season.
The Ravens defense is stupid, and he's thriving there because I mean, except for when you play and you have a chance. It's something that when you play for the I guess. I mean,
a lot more motivated.
Him
and Patrick Queen are so in charge of that middle. I mean, you look at historic Ravens defenses, and historic Ravens defenses, they always have a strong middle linebacker. They always have a strong middle linebacker.
They have a great strong safety. I mean, Ed Reed, Kyle Hamilton. Not that they're the same player, but they're both dominant players.
Yeah.
They got a pass rush. They got a lot of guys. They just got a lot of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Their ends are just balling right now.
Definitely. And let's move on. Well, actually, out of these 4. Aside from who you picked, who would your pick be? Aside from your pick.
Honestly, I would go with Roquan. I think
Roquan?
At this moment, Roquan, not that he's peaking, but the Ravens have have been skyrocketing there as high as they've ever been, I think. I think they're more dominant than the year than I mean, not that he's gonna win it again, but Lamar's first MVP. They're a more dominant team than they're a more complete team, they're a more veteran team than, and they just played 2 of what we think are top 5 teams in the league, and they just obliterated both. It wasn't a game in the second half. I mean, the Ravens they're an absolute dominant force right now. And I mean, nobody wants to play the Ravens. Some sucker wildcard team. Actually, Browns versus Ravens would be a game. But I mean, if the Colts or something have to go to Baltimore and play in the 2nd round, that would be a disaster. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go with CD.
Okay.
I think
CD's not bad. I mean, they're all good picks.
I think even though not the Browns, even though the Cowboys have faced all these not great teams this year, I mean, some of these teams have had strong cornerbacks. Sauce Gardner is on a horrible team. They got plenty. I mean, there's plenty of good corners on bad teams that he's absolutely roasted and toasted the whole season.
Lions have a good secondary. I mean, Brian Branch shaved them. Yeah.
All right, now let's go to Frozen. I have 2 nominees for this one.
Really? Why don't we start?
First off, I'm going to go with Brad Allen's officiating crew as completely Frozen.
Oh, the lines got robbed.
Awful. That was probably the worst call I've seen in NFL history. Arguably that versus the Nicole Roby Coleman Saints Rams game.
No.
I mean, they completely just handed them the game because the dude.
This was
way worse.
This was way worse than that one. Because this one, the Nicole Roby Coleman play was like top 5 worst, but that was like an in-action, like split-second decision play.
That's fair.
This play was like they told the ref ahead of time, and the ref got the number wrong. How do you even do that? I mean, that's embarrassing. That's an embarrassment to the NFL.
It is. They should be fine.
I feel bad for the Lions. I'm wearing my league participants. They were league members last night. I mean,
wait, what is that shirt from?
Charlie Grabner. This was a birthday present a couple years ago. It's like one of my favorite shirts.
I've never seen you wear that. What
It's
is that?
low-key bad luck though. I got it when the Lions were like 1-6 last year, and since they've been on a tear. So maybe it's bad luck, but I think it's hilarious.
Hey, just don't wear it when we play them.
I think I did. I don't know. We won
Brady,
1-1. It's
Brady
fine.
throws the shirt on. Bears blow a 14-point lead in the fourth quarter.
It's what they do. That's their special. Dude, the Bears should. The Bears. Okay, we're talking about the Bears later, but they piss me off.
Yeah, we'll hit them in a minute.
My Frozen player is Travis Kelce. Travis
Okay.
Kelce has been swifted away under the rug. I mean, he hasn't scored in a month and a half. He's been held
Really?
under
It's been that
45 yards. Yeah, it's been November 20th, I think, was his last touchdown.
Wow.
I mean, he just looks older. He looks slower. Not that he's not good anymore. He's still good, but he's just not that dominant tight end that we're so used to seeing for the Chiefs. He's been injured more. He's even admitted he's thinking about retirement. It feels
That's
like
blasphemy.
since
That's BS. There's no shot.
that what
He's
he
just
retires?
saying that as
I
an
agree.
excuse.
Maybe not. But Travis Kelce, he just has not looked like his old self. He's been not frozen, but he's been like cold. He's been iced out a little, not been able to move as fast. He just hasn't looked like himself, and he just hasn't. The stats have shown it too.
I mean, yeah.
Eh, eh.
My next pick for Chosen or Frozen, my next
My
Frozen
next
player
pick.
is another Chief. You know, we seem
Really?
to be picking some dudes on the same team today. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
well,
with
it's the
the
teams.
most Frozen player of this NFL season, in my
Kadarius
opinion.
Toney.
Kadarius Toney.
I also shout out to Matt Nagy for this.
What does Matt Nagy have to do with him, Kadarius, dropping footballs?
He has to do with the fact that the Chiefs have zero offense with the greatest quarterback of all time.
Whoa, okay.
Okay, not greatest quarterback.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Kadarius Toney. No matter who you pick, anyone but him is the wrong pick for most Frozen player of this NFL season.
It's not this season though. It's right now.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah,
the
I don't
NFL
wanna
season.
you anymore.
The Chiefs have not been the number one seed in I don't even know how long, and that's because of one reason and one reason only: Kadarius Toney dropping footballs this year. So
They've legitimately lost 3 games on that.
yes,
They probably lost 2-3 games. I mean,
and
they lost the Lions game because of that. They lost the
Bills
some other games
game,
of that.
and then
Bills game.
they got a little close for comfort in the first half against New England when he bobbled that ball right into the Patriots' hands. So that's who I'm going to say. And then we've got a nominee from the fans, which is another Dallas Cowboy, and his name is Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard has been awful this year.
Tony Pollard, hear this stat and say to yourself, when this guy was drafted in like top 15 of fantasy leagues, if you expected to hear this stat this year,
I thought he was going to be fantastic this year.
Tony Pollard has one game of 80 or more rushing yards all season.
That's crazy. With that,
and that was against the Arizona Cardinals, who are the worst rushing defense in the entire football league.
And that was also like week 2, I think. Week 3,
yes,
maybe.
It was very early.
And
they lost that game.
Of course I did.
So Tony Pollard he's also had 20 or more carries only 3 times, and everyone thought he'd be a workhorse back this year with Zeke finally gone. He's just been absolutely pitifully bad.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. Is he on a franchise tag? I don't think they gave him a big contract.
I want to say yes. Hold on, let me
maybe they gave him a contract. I'm not in that Cowboys lore right now, but he's just completely missed his opportunity this year and blown it for himself. Maybe it's the ACL surgery. Maybe he's just not the same runner. But even in the receiving game, this guy has not been effective. He hasn't been effective.
He's on the franchise tag. He didn't.
What?
Yeah. He also didn't have ACL surgery. He broke his fibula.
Fibula, same deal.
Or tibia, one of the
big time leg surgery.
Yeah, I mean he's making $10 million. I don't feel that bad for him, but
still,
he just has not shown up this year.
Is that on a franchise tag or a real deal?
It's a franchise tag.
Yeah, all right. See, he's not getting a bag this offseason.
No.
So who would you have to vote for out of these candidates?
I look like your pick. I like KT.
KT, I agree with you.
Mm.
If I had to pick someone besides mine, I would take Tony Pollard strictly because he has been so vastly disappointing compared to what we expected from him.
Thanks for watching Neutral Zone Reaction with Brady Hannon and Jules Bergman. Make sure to catch our other videos and live streams on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and Audible.
We hope you enjoyed and can't wait to talk football with you next time.